going into a similar media route to just like any kind of emerging trend, but then capitalizing off of this like whole thought on what is the next step of this trend being like a growing thing in culture. So when I forward engineer this to the future of it, if dads are going to have more time with children, that means there's going to be more stay at home dads and then more breadwinner moms. So the cultural dynamic might actually shift from like trophy wives over to trophy dads. And then if this is like a emerging category of this like trophy dad culture, I would probably start creating some sort of community to just like essentially copy the same playbook on how girl boss became a thing. If girl boss is like, I would just like create the kind of like complementary category to girl boss. And then, so if there's the community of girl boss, there's going to be a community of trophy dads. And then I would essentially just like do all the homemaker dad content on like how to be the ideal trophy dad. Here's like how to compliment your breadwinner wife to the maximum. And then just like first create this like community and then content. It will probably evolve into like in-person workshops and everything like that. And then have all these like trophy dad influencers emerge from the community. And then you could probably have like conferences similar to like how a girl boss, there's probably a conference relating to being a girl boss. There's going to be a conference about all the ideal trophy dads. And then for all their mastermind content to be like spoken in a PowerPoint on like, hey, make sure you know to just like fix anything in a home.
Yeah,
And just like woodwork class for trophy dads on just like making practical furniture
true.
to impress your breadwinner wife. Or like beginner baking skills as a trophy dad, and then all the way to advanced baking skills. It could be entire content empire or community empire that has this ecosystem emerging around it. So yeah, Low Boss, the trophy dads.
Okay, you know how I would execute? You know how I would execute this? I think I would actually use maybe a school or a similar platform for this. And I would I would, the goal would to be like, all right, create like a whole thing for people to, to learn from and sort of buy in for a community plus course. And I think that this idea becomes really feasible if you sort of go with that pitch that you just made there, Runda, but go to somebody who's already got influence in this space. Like there's somebody I've been watching a lot lately. He's called I think it's called POV underscore husband. And this guy just makes videos of him making like really over the top dinners for his wife. So maybe I'd go to him, or maybe just anybody else who's like kind of in this category, and just say to them like, hey, this is the community that like I'm trying to build up. And particularly like the it's about like the trophy husband, and we want to build up that term and build a rant, sort of hijack this term that is already sort of used in culture, but sort of make it into our thing and build a community surrounding it. And to be honest, I was a little skeptical at first, but then I think like I actually totally get this on why people would fully be willing to pay for something like this, and it would be really valuable, is like, yeah, if they are falling into this category of guys that they are the ones who stay at home and they have a breadwinner wife. Well, I mean, I'm sure all of these guys are interested in holding down their breadwinner wife, and they're actually probably thinking like, hey, like I actually do want to make sure that I'm bringing everything that I can to the table here, because like my wife is doing so much, like, at work every day. And, that's just not good for a relationship when people feel like there's an imbalance. So I think just like that's something that could like probably save marriages. Cause like as guys, no one ever told us how to, be the best stay-at-home husband growing up. That's just like not something that is like really taught to us on a cultural level. So I think just sort of fostering a push in that direction would actually probably, not only be a good opportunity to like, hey, go viral and get rich, but you would also be really making a cultural difference in the world.
There was already this viral story out there. It was like a guy either in Japan or China where he's basically a professional boyfriend. He basically does all the stay-at-home boyfriend husband things, but then like as a boyfriend, and then he just bounces relationships to relationships as like that boyfriend that will just cook for you whenever you're about to go to work for breakfast, and then he'll pack your lunch, and then he'll also like make dinner for you. It's actually all the kind of like traditional wifely duties, but like he's doing that as a boyfriend.
How many
And
clients does this guy have?
I think last time I saw this video, it was 7 girlfriends in the past. And then apparently this guy gets like exes send him letters to like come back as a boyfriend. And then he's just like, no, I have to, you know,
Tend to my other 6.
Yeah, I can't, gotta go to work, you know.
gotta go to work in the kitchen. There's probably gonna be like an emerging kind of like middle point, like tolerable point for the mainstream culture to like accept the whole, yeah, there's gonna be more female breadwinners in a family dynamic. At trophy dads is gonna be a whole cultural demographic out
Yeah.
there.
It already exists, but like plenty, but it's gonna take off way more. I mean, look at Mark. I bet you could literally find data to like back this up, but I'm pretty sure like well more than 50% of like just for the gender breakdown for when you look at like medical school, like women are dominating these educational paths right now for these like typically like, kind of high paying jobs that are like enough to be like what we'll call like a breadwinner for a family. These are female dominated. So all of those people are going to graduate and get jobs someday. And this is just something like if you look further down in the pipeline for this trend, like there's just really only more fuel being added to the fire right now.